ecstasy, this rapture, highest happiness. That word is very frequently used in Buddhism, but also in Hindu spiritual field also is used. It is ascribed to one Shankaracharya. That is, it is said that it was composed by him, maybe by him or by one of his followers. Shatka means a group of 6 stanzas. Shat means 6. Shatka is one poem comprising 6 verses. That is Shatka.
So you can say this comes from this part of Vedanta, Shankaracharya.
Yeah.
Vedanta.
Yes.
Okay.
So this work mainly relates to the Vedanta philosophy. In the Vedanta philosophy, as compared to the yoga philosophy, there are many differences. In the Vedanta philosophy, it is believed that there is only one truth, one eternal truth, one reality called Brahman. May be described by any name, Brahma or Shiva, Vishnu, like that. But anyway, there is only one reality. Only from that one reality, all these mutually different entities they emerge. And finally, all of them go back into that reality. The differences are only apparent. Really, there is only one. Just as in an ocean, different waves may appear. One wave appears to be different from the other. One wave is big, another wave is small. One bubble is big, another bubble is small. Like that they appear. But really speaking, they don't have an independent existence. Because ocean is there, all these are appearing. If there was no ocean, only waves without the ocean, impossible. All of them are ocean only. So, according to the yoga system, it is pluralistic. All the individual souls are independent eternal entities. It is not so here. All the individual entities are just appearances. In the one reality, that is always there. Whether there are waves, whether there are no waves, ocean is there. See, even when it is very calm, no wave at all, even then it is ocean. Even when the waves are coming up and up, even then it is the ocean. Like that one reality called Brahman is the permanent reality. The others are temporary. They appear and disappear. That is the philosophy of Vedanta. And Shankara was one of the greatest proponents of this system. He might have lived in the 7th century or, according to some others, at the end of the 8th century. Every old text says that he lived for only 32 years. Just in 32 years, he wrote so many of the works, all the works that are the basis of what's called non-dualism, Advaita. And this work also supports that view, the Advaita school. It is supposed to have been written by Shankara. And there are 4 centers which are said to have been established by him. Which are said to have been established by him. Historically, we have no proof. But there are 4 centers even now in India, in the 4 corners of India, they are there. And the pontiffs who lived in those centers are also called Shankaracharya. So, hundreds of them should have come and gone after him. His disciples, they are also called Shankaracharya, even though they have their own names. All these followers of Shankara, they are also called Shankaracharya. Someone of that line might have written, we do not know. Or the original Shankaracharya himself might have written. They have no historical proof. So, this is composed in a particular meter. It is not like the sutras of Patanjali. The sutras of Patanjali are just small sentences. They are not composed according to any meter. But here, it is composed according to meter. And so, one has to learn to chant or sing this particular meter in a certain way. I am not a very good singer. I am not a musician. I only chant as taught in the schools. How my teachers taught me, like that I chant. And I request you to repeat it. However, later when you have opportunities to learn these things from good singers, good musicians, you may learn them even well, better. Now I will read just as I know, an ordinary Sanskrit student. मनोबुद्ध्यहंकार चित्तानि नाहं न च श्रोत्र जिह्वे न च घ्राण नेत्रे न च व्योम भूमिर् न तेजो न वायुर् चिदानंद रूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्. Okay, please repeat now. Manobuddhyahankara Chittani naham na cha shrotra jihve na cha ghrana netre न च व्योम भूमिः न तेजो न वायुः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्. Shivoham, Shivoham. I am that Shiva. I am that universal spirit, universal Atman, Paramatman. If I am thinking, I am this body, this eye, this ear, this tongue, it is only an appearance. It is not true. That is not my true form. In my true form, I am that Shiva, I am that great God Himself, that reality I am. That is what is being said here. Mano, buddhi, ahankara, chitta, na aham. Aham means I. Na aham, I am not any of these things. Mana, the mind, buddhi, the intellect, ahankara, the ego, chitta, their collection, the same thing, the same internal machine, when it is performing different duties, is called by the name manas, buddhi, ahankara and chitta. None of these things is I. I am not any of these things. These are only my equipments. If I am wearing a shirt, if I am wearing a dress, it is not me. It is only my dress. There was one Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. He was invited for a big dinner in a club, special dinner. He went there. They said, we don't admit you. There is dress code. Only in that dress, those that come have admission, no others. We cannot admit you. So he went there and wore that dress, the suit, tie, etc., respectable dress. And he came there. They served all this food. He told the shirt, please eat. The coat, please eat. Because they are inviting you, not me. So, this manas, buddhi, ahankara, chitta is all the external. That is not me. Similarly, anything that is physical, that is not my true form. My true form is Shiva, that eternal, universal consciousness. So, mano buddhyahankara chittanina nacha shrotra jiffe. Shrotra, ear. Ear. E-A-R, ear. That is shrotra. Jiffa. Jiffa is tongue. With which we taste. Is tongue. That is jiffa. Nacha shrotra jiffe. I am not the ears. I am not the tongue. Nacha grana netre. Grana is nose. Netra, the eye. These things I am not. I am not these things. Nacham vyoma bhumir. Vyoma, the space, the sky. Bhumi, the earth. Na tejo na vayu. Tejaha, the fire. Vayu, the wind. None of these things I am. All these are only physical things. My true form is not physical. Then what I am? Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. I am Shiva, who is Rupa, who is in the form of Chit and Ananda. Chit, that is Chetana, that is his consciousness. Ananda, that is his pure bliss. That is my real form. That is me, not these things. Next is saying, Nacha prana sangho navai panchavayu nava sapta dhatur nava panchakosha nava panipadam nachopasthapayu chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. Please repeat. Nacha prana sangho
Nacha prana sangho
न वै पंचवायुः न वा सप्तधातुः न वा पंचकोशः न वा पाणिपादम् न चोपस्थपायुः चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं Prana Sangha. Prana, you know about that? Prana Ayama. The breathing, that is prana, the life breath, that is prana. Sangha means group. The group of different pranas. It is supposed that there are 5 pranas. Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana. These 5 pranas are there. Even though all of them together we call prana, on account of the different positions in which they act, they are named in 5 different ways. So, Hridi prano, Bhute panaha, Samano, Nabhi samsthitaha, Udanaha, Kantha deshasthaha, Jnana sarva shariraga. When this life breath is in the heart, when it is working in the heart, it is called prana. Hridi prana. Gude apanaha. When it is flowing outwards to throw away all the dirt of the body, when it is going downwards to throw out, it is called apana. When it is in the navel, nabhi. When it is working for the digestion and assimilation of food, it is called samana. Samano nabhi samsthita. When it is in the kantha to throw the air out, and when it is used for speaking, when I am pronouncing, that if you have to pronounce, the air should come out, it should use its power, then only I can pronounce any sound at all. And therefore, that is kantha. Kantha, when it is the neck, it is called udana. And vyana is one that is working through every part of the body. That is why if something touches my toe, even that I know, the finger, the head, everywhere that is working so that we have the sensation. That is vyana. Like that, it is said to be 5 types. All these, that is why he says, Navai Panchavayu. Pancha means 5. Panchavayu. 5 types of breaths, which is called this group of 5 pranas. None of these things I am. It is for my purpose. It is for my good, no doubt. But I am not that. I am different. Nava saptadhatuhu. I am not the 7 dhatus that compose my body. In the body, according to their analysis, there were 7 elements, like blood, bone, fat, sinew, the skin, muscle, rakta, mamsa, medo, majja. It's called marrow. Within the bones, that marrow is there. These are called the sapta dhatus, the 7 dhatus. All those things make my body, no doubt. But I am not any of them. Some muscle of my body may be cut off, still I exist. And the blood, that is changing every moment, every minute it is changing. Then they say, is it 7 days or 8 days? All the blood cells die and new blood comes. The blood cells, you don't think that the same blood continues for as long as we live. The blood has to be changing. Those cells die and new cells are produced. I am not that. I am one who is permanent here. Like that, the fat that is hated so much, everybody wants to get rid of the fat. Dieting, all these things. So, none of these things I am. And my body is composed of these things, but I am not they. Nava pancha kosha. Pancha means 5. We suppose that there are 5 koshas in every human being. Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha, Anandamaya kosha. 5 koshas. Koshas are covers or sheaths. In these 5 sheaths, I am hidden. See? Like sometimes a present, a gift is given. Colorful paper, it is covered. That colorful paper is not the gift. It's thrown away. You tear it off. And within that there is a box. That box is not the gift. It is just a box. Inside there is another small box. That is also a box. Inside there is a small, soft, velvet cover. That cover. That is also not the gift. Inside there is the golden ornament. That is the gift. All these are koshas. All these are just cover sheets. So here he says, as far as we are considered, there are 5 koshas. The first kosha is Annamaya kosha. Anna means food. The kosha that is made of the food, this physical body. That is not me. It is changing every day. If I do not have food a couple of days, already everybody asks me, why are you so thin, why are you so lean, what happened to you? So, that is Annamaya kosha. Within the Annamaya kosha, there is the Pranamaya kosha. Prana, that life. If that life is gone, even if this Annamaya kosha is there, nobody calls me Nagaraja. They say, there is a body. It is just a body. It is not John, it is not Nagaraja, it is not so-and-so. It is just a body. So that prana is what gives me my individuality. That is what. If that prana is gone, the next moment already they are drawing the body. So that pranamaya kosha. But it is also a kosha. Within that, there is the manomaya kosha, the mind. Suppose a man has the Annamaya kosha. The Pranamaya kosha is also there. The heart is taking the pulse, it is working. But the mind is not working, is brain dead. He is just like a vegetable, vegetative condition. He is in coma. This Annamaya kosha is all right, it is there, the weight is there. And he is breathing, the heart is pumping, it is But Manasu is not there. He is just in a coma. We have to wait. How long we will keep him with the ventilator, with these things. That mind, that is also there. The Vijnana, this knowledge. Many people are there, they do not know what is right, what is wrong. They find it good and they eat it, but no good, they are of no use, we say. Because Vijnana is that science, literally is science. And that is the knowledge that is working. That is Vijnanamaya Kosha. Behind it, there is what is called this Anandamaya Kosha. It's Kosha of bliss. All these are koshas. However inside they are, however nice they are not me. They are just the koshas in which the ornaments is kept. As I give the example. So I am not the five koshas, Nava Pancha koshas. Now Vak Padi Padam, Vak, the speech. It is not me. If it's recorded in a machine, then we can switch on and hear. Vak is there. My speech is there. In a cassette somewhere. It is not me. Anybody, any number, any copies, 100 copies, 1,000 copies can be made. It is not me. Pani. Pani is literally hand. Padam, the foot. Navak, Pani, Padam. Any of these things I am not. Najo Upastha, Paya. Upastha, the generative organ. Payu, the excretive organ. They are parts of the body. None of that is I am. I am super something. That is Chidananda Rupa. That is my real nature. Real nature is Chaitanya. Chaitanya Atma. Nothing else is Atma. That Chaitanya, that is what I mean. That Shiva, whom we call Shiva, who is purely Chaitanya, that is me, that is me. Shiva, Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am that. Next he is saying, Nami Dvesha Ragau, Nami Lobha Mokau, Madho Naivami, Naiva Matsarya Bhava, Na Dharmo Na Chatto, Na Kamo Na Moksho, Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. Please repeat. Name Dvesha Ragam, Name Lobha Mohau, Madho Naiva Me, Naiva Matsarya Bhava, Na Dharmo Na Chatto, Na Kamo Na Moksha, Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. Dvesha, Raga. These words have come in the Yoga Sutras. Sukhanushayi Ragaha, Dukkhanushayi dvesha. These sutras we read. When one has contact with sukha, pleasure, the attraction that grows towards is raga. When one has an unpleasant experience, the aversion that grows towards that object is dvesha. So, raga and dvesha.
Attachment and
Aversion.
aversion. Attachment and aversion.
Yes. That attraction and hatred towards these things. That is raga, dvesha. He says, Nami dvesha ragau. I have no aversion, no attraction, no attachment. Then why I am running for that? I am against this, I am going to hit somebody, I am going to hug somebody. Here there is attachment, there is hatred. They are there. They all belong only to the buddhi, not true me. In my true form, the form of consciousness, there is no question of difference, there is no question of hate, there is no question of love. Everything is one. Who should love whom, who should hate whom? It is meaningless. It is beyond these feelings. So, name dvesha raga. I have neither dvesha nor raga. None of those things belongs to real me. Nami lobha moha. Lobha. This word also has occurred in the Yoga Sutras. Krodha, lobha, moha, purvata. Lobha is greed. Moha is ignorance, or a type of, is also a type of attachment. Moha. He has moha for his wife. That she is the most beautiful, that she is the greatest. Like that, all those ideas that occur, all that is moha. For the real being, there is neither lobha nor moha. What should the consciousness do? Coveting all these things, holding all these things. What is the meaning of lobha? It is meaningless. So, nami lobha moha. Mado naiva me. Mada. Arrogance. There cannot be any arrogance in me. If I think I am richer than him, then I may have some arrogance. I am rich.
Which word is arrogance? Madhu.
Mada. Mada means arrogance, pride. Since in our true forms, one is not superior, another one is not inferior. Therefore, the same consciousness is working. How can I be proud? How can I be diffident? There is no reason for that. If there is some difference between me and you, then I am arrogant. Equal. In every way, everyone is equal. There is no reason for any other. Naiva matsarya bhava. Matsarya, jealousy. There's a professional jealousy. One liar says, he is a useless fellow. It refers to another liar. As far as everything else is concerned, he is good. But in profession, he is nobody. That is Matsarya. No room for such feelings in the real being. Consciousness doesn't. Na Matsarya. Na dharmo, na jartho, na kamo, na moksha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. These four are considered as the four values of life. Every person should work for these four values. One is dharma, righteousness, to be correct, that is dharma. What you say, all moral values, honesty, truthfulness, all such things come under dharma. Next is artha. They are financial values. Finance, money, monetary values. That is artha. One should earn more money, one should be rich, one should be well-to-do, one should be able to help others. If I don't have anything, how can I help others? And so all such values, monetary values, they come under artha. And kama, all the pleasure values, all types of pleasures, all fulfilling of all types of desires, natural and some things that are earned. Such fulfillment of all types of urges in the body, that is called kama. Maybe sexual, maybe sensual, maybe artistic. All such pleasures, those that go towards pleasure, those values are kama. And finally, the spiritual values are moksha. To go away from all this morass of worldly living, just as Buddha left everything and reached that enlightenment, to go towards that is moksha. So these four values, Purushartha Chatushtaya in Indian idiomatic expression, four purposes of life. All these apply as long as we are thinking in terms of our human existence. I don't take these apply to lions. They also have kama, no doubt, that urge to reproduce, to preserve their species. Such things are there. Maybe they also have, under kama, they also want to eat. If they have eaten sugar cane one day, they go there again to that same field to eat. Such things are there. But dharma, moksha, the spiritual values and the moral values, those things I don't work as far as the animals are concerned.
Dharma, yeah.
Dharma is moral values.
Yeah.
We have certain codes of moral in the human society. They may not apply in many of the other animals. So, all these things apply to the human being as such. But I am, the real me, is neither human nor non-human. It is pure consciousness, and there, this particular form of human being, etc., has no value. And so, I have none of these. I am above and beyond these concerns. So I am Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am that reality only. Next he says, Na punyam na papam, na saukhyam na dukkham, na mantro na tirtham, na veda na yajna, aham bhojanam naiva, bhojyam na bhokta, Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. Please repeat. Na punyam,
Na punyam,
na papam,
na papam,
na saukhyam,
na saukyam,
na dukkham,
na dukkham,
na mantro,
na mantro,
na tirtham,
na tirtham,
na veda,
na veda,
na yajna,
na yajna,
aham bhojanam naiva,
aham bhojanam naiva,
bhojyam na bhokta,
bhojanam na bhokta,
chidananda rupa,
chidananda rupa,
shivoham shivoham,
shivoham shivoham.
Punya, Papa. These two concepts are there in India. Whenever you do some good deed, you earn some punya. You may translate it as merit, let us say. When you do some bad action, you earn some papa. These are put in record. What we have done, it will be recorded. On the way, you may find somebody in distress, some accident has taken place, a person is bleeding. If you go and help him, if you take him to a hospital, it is a good action that you have done. And so, it makes you earn punya. Some punya is there in your record. If you do the opposite, you are driving fast and you kill somebody, you hurt somebody and go away, hit and run cases without helping him. You are papa. Legally you may not be caught, but that has happened, that is recorded there. And as a result of the punya, one goes to heaven. As a result of the papa, one goes to hell. All these things are there for a person of ordinary stature. A real yogi, no punya, no papa. After he has got this viveka, this discrimination between Purusha and Prakriti, he has gained that knowledge. Afterwards, no punya, no papa, all those things are burned down. He neither goes to heaven nor goes to hell. Those things are annulled. He is beyond such things. He gets only kaivalya. So, he is saying, na punyam, na papam. There is no punya, there is no papa for me. Na saukhyam, na dukkham. There is no pleasure, nor there is pain. Pleasure and pain are out of the question. Na mantraha, na tirtham. Mantra. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Different mantras, spells. As far as my true form is considered, no one with any mantras. None of them is necessary. Na tirtham. Tirtham is a holy place. A holy river is there, especially the confluence of two rivers. That is supposed to be tirtha. If you go and bathe there, all your sins are washed like that. For me, there is no sin. Why do I need any tirtha? Na mantro, na tirtha. Na vedaha, na yajnaha. Vedaha, scriptures. Yajnaha, the rituals, the sacrifices that are ordained, they are enjoined in the Vedas. All those things are meaningless for me. I don't have to do any of that. Aham bhojanam naiva bhokta bhojam. None of these things. Bhojanam is eating dinner. That is bhojanam. Bhojam, what is eaten? The food that is eaten is bhojya. Bhokta, the eater, one who eats, that is bhokta. This division is there as long as I am thinking in terms of my body. I am the eater. I eat the pizza. And that act of eating is bhojana. All these differences are there. As long as I am thinking in terms of my body. Otherwise it is not there. Chidananda Rupa Shivo. Next. न मृत्युर्न शंका न मे जाति भेद पिता नैव मे नैव माता न जन्म न बन्धुर्न मित्रं गुरुर्नैव शिष्या चिदानन्दरूपा शिवोऽहम् शिवोऽहम्. Repeat. न मृत्युर् न शंका न मे जाति भेदः पिता नैव मे नैव माता न जन्म न बन्धुर् न मित्रं गुरुर्नैव शिष्यः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहम् शिवोऽहम्. The mrityu is death. There is no death for me. Nami jati bheda. I have no divisions of caste. I am a Brahmin, I am a Shudra, I am a Kshatriya, like that. The division of caste, class, color, none of them applies to me. Pita naiva me, I have no father. Mata naiva, there is no mother. Na janma, because I have no birth. If I have a birth, then I have a father, I have a mother. I have no birth at all. I am born here. True. All those distinctions apply as long as I am thinking in terms of my body. This body should have come from the womb of my mother. There is no doubt. Thus, I have a father and a mother. But in my pure form, in the form of consciousness, no father, no mother. Na bandhur na mitra, bandhu, relative. He is my cousin, like that, any kind of relation, that is not there. Na bandhu. Na mitram, my friend, my foe, nothing of that kind. Gurur naiva shishya. I am the guru, I am the shishya. Guru is teacher, shishya is disciple, student. These relations no longer exist when I have the realization that I am that Shiva, I am that consciousness. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Aham nirvikalpi nirakara rupi vibhutvacha sarvatra sarvendriyanam na chasangatam naiva muktirna maya chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. Repeat. aham nirvikalpi nirakara rupi vibhutvacha sarvatra sarvendriyanam nacha sangatam naiva muktirnamaya chidananda rupa shivoham aham nirvikalpi. I am free from all vikalpas. Vikalpa, as we have read in the first chapter of the Yoga Sutras, Shabda-jnananupati vastu-shunyo vikalpa. The 7th sutra in the first chapter of the Yoga Sutras. So, all kind of imagination, all kind of fiction, I am free from that. I am nir is without any vikalpa. Aham nirvikalpi, nirakara rupi. My real form is nirakara. It has no shapes. It is neither male nor female. Nothing of that kind applies in my true form. As long as I am wearing a sword, a crown, I am a king. That show is over. Those have been thrown out. Now I am not a king. Just like that, I am male, I am female, I am a woman, I am a man. All these, as long as I am wearing this dress of the body. And I can think above these things, but I am not this body, I am some true Shiva, the real reality. In that form, the question of male, female, gender, etc., these do not apply. Vibhutvacha, on account of my being everywhere, in my universal form, and I have returned to that, I am everywhere. Sarvatra. So, sarvendriya, I apply to everything. There is no question. Me, him, she, her, nothing of that kind. There is nothing asangatam. There is how do we translate it? Sangata is that which is balanced, that which is correctly arranged. Asangatam, uncorrectly arranged. There is no question of uncorrectly being arranged. That's something wrong with me, that I am blind, that I am deaf, I am dumb, etc. That kind of thing does not apply to me. Naiva muktir namaya. The question of being released, the question of being covered by Maya, that magical power which is everywhere. I am free from that, I am away from that. Because I have realized that I am not this destructible body, but I am my pure consciousness. I am the Shiva himself. I am that universal consciousness itself. So that is the view of Shankara. According to him, all these differences are only appearances. All that is adhyasa, just a fiction created. In real form, there is no enemy, there is no friend, there is no relative, there is no non-relative. Everything completely is only his consciousness, which he calls Brahma. So, this is Nirvana Shatka, the 6 verses concerning Nirvana. The word is very frequently used in Buddhism to represent the highest stage, which Buddha reached. He reached Nirvana. Nirvana in Sanskrit literally means extinguishing of a flame.
Extinguishing.
Yeah, a candle is burning. If it is extinguished, it is called Nirvana. Vana, Vata, that is air. Nirvata, that is free from air. When air is stopped, the light becomes dimmer and dimmer and it is extinguished. Without oxygen, nothing can burn. A candle cannot burn when the oxygen is cut off on the oxygen. See, if you light a candle and place a glass above that, for 1 or 2 moments and then it goes off because there is no supply of oxygen. That is Nirvana in the original meaning of that word. How that word came, literal meaning of that word is like that. It was applied to what we call mukti in the Buddhist sense, because in the Buddhist philosophy, anatman is not accepted. Nairatmya. That is, everything is momentary. And so, here there is a vijnana santati. There is a series of sensations which we call a person, which we call a man, which we call an atman. And that series, which is like the flame is a series of chemical reactions which are emitting light. And that is stopped. Like that, this particular series is stopped. That is what is called Nirvana in the Buddhist parlance. But in the yoga parlance and also Vedanta. In yoga, everyone is an eternal being, and so he continues in a free state. In Vedanta system, there is no individual existence after gaining mukti. It is only merging into the universal soul.
So in Vedanta, like you merge with the one.
Yeah, you merge with the one Brahman. Afterwards, there is no entity called Narvadra or mind.
But somehow you don't distinguish. You continue.
No. In Vedanta, there is no question of extinguishing.
No.
There is no individual existence, but as universal soul, he is in pure bliss.
Yeah.
That is Chidananda.
Yeah.
So, friends, we have read this Nirvana Shatka, and Earth tells me to continue for a couple of days to read a few shlokas from the Bhagavad Gita. So tomorrow, those that are interested, to read the Bhagavad Gita shlokas. There are many collected by him. Only a few we read, or all of them not possible. A few of them.
I have a kind of big question. I don't know if can I ask you a simple question? No? Possible? It's about it seems like all the philosophies, Buddhism, Vedanta, yoga, different philosophies, like the way to achieve the goal is quite similar in all of them, but the differences are in the end, no? In the enlightenment, in the form of enlightenment itself, no? Somehow.
See, the paths are different, destination is the same.
Sorry?
Destination is the same. Where you reach, that destination is the same. Is the same. The paths, the roads are different.
But interpretation of this destination is different, no? Because in Buddhism...
What is moksha? There also there is difference. But thing is, everybody needs everything. Even in the Buddhist system, in the Vedanta system, etc., yoga is not said to be useless. But they don't say, whether it is Vedanta or Buddha system, they don't say that yoga is useless.
Is?
Yoga is useless.
Yes.
Like that they do not say.
Yeah.
Everyone accepts its utility. First this discipline has to be gone through. Then only there will be that realization. We can shout Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. But how does that realization come? For the coming of that realization, the yoga path has to be taken and accepted by everybody. So the emphasis is different, is on different things. Everyone see Buddha was in dhyana. You see Buddha sitting in the Padmasana position and doing the dhyana. Let me see. Therefore, everything is necessary. The emphasis is on different aspects. So, we'll meet tomorrow. And what?